Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. I don't know what we're going to do for a video today. It's Saturday. It's about maybe 47 degrees out, but it's so muddy you can't do anything. You can't do much outside. We did some brazing. This is 1/8" copper coated steel rod, like used for filler rod when you're TIG welding or torch welding. And this is probably like 3/32 brazing rod, and I know they call it, I'm sure they call it bronze brazing rod, bronze whatever. We did use a little bit of powdered flux, that's what we use on bare rod. It didn't take much for that mini torch. I should have said I did it with a mini torch. It didn't take that much to melt this. It took forever to heat these up. It took for more to heat this up than it did heat up a nail, probably because there was two of them there close together. So I don't know what we're going to do with this sample piece, but we're going to clean it up a little bit. We got carried away. We thought we put a little extra on the top and then it fell down. You know how that goes. So we'll snap a close-up shot of this. This would have been the back. We're just doing it just for one side. That's what we want to see. What kind of coverage, penetration we got there. So stay tuned. We'll clean this up on the scrubby wheel. Bring it over here. We'll clean up on that. So stay tuned for more. Okay, this is the front, this is the back. Now, there's a lot of it got on the back. That's weird, because I know I'm right. I know this is the front of how that dripped down when I was trying to do it. We're going to do some grinding. We're going to get out like a flapper disc and grind it off. We want to actually see how much is in that gap. So, well guys, we get stuff too close. You know, we're only about 4 inches from the lens, and we use auto on this camera. We don't try any other forward settings. In fact, this is about a foot away. We're about a foot away from the camera. About 6 inches from the lens. We're going to get up here like a bike. That's about 2 inches. There's that sweet spot in there at about 3 inches for small stuff. We first got this, we took pictures. I don't know if anybody ever seen the video. It had like a dime, an little old small wristwatch. Of course, the light's really bright up there. You can tell when it gets that glare. Goof off video. Why not? I just don't feel like really doing a project. I just want to do some small stuff or something to do. I don't want to work. There we go. That's just, don't make up excuses what I don't want. I just don't want to work. There. You ain't gonna make me. If it ain't fun, I don't want to do it. Sunday in the Shop videos should really be fun. Okay, enough me rambling. Let's grind this off and see what it looks like. We'll put something else in this video though. Okay, we're going to try a little different background. So, this side filled in pretty good. You know, just for practice. And you never can get the end of anything. You ever notice that? I try to show you the end of a screwdriver. We did start spreading it apart and then we stopped. So here we go. Boy, this rod's stiff. I have to cut it with my little mini bolt cutters. I can't cut it with like a side cutter. Here we go. Well, we're getting there. Boy, I can make some tools. Make something out of. Well, that's the reason I got the torch. I'll be using small. I wanted to solder like small copper wire, make little trinkets and different things. So I probably would never be brazing this stuff together. We're getting a failure. Yep, we're starting to get a failure. Well, we're going to put the big vise with the big vice grips, and then we're going to really yank on it. So we'll be right back. We're going to see if we actually can destroy it. Because like I said, that was a glob that just run down here. I was not brazing. I was brazing right up in here about where I stopped pulling that. So Then go over to the big vise with a big pair of vice grips or something and really yank on it. So I don't think you want to watch me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, we did manage to break it, but it took a lot of force. This more or less because I know it was like it soldered it. It did not soak into the steel like a big torque. But I had it right up to about that much together. Like right at the very top. I could have stopped, I could have used it for something. You know, lightweight project. But I pulled as hard as I could. It came apart, so. I suppose if I would have had bare steel, then flux, but it's still not going to do more than solder something this heavy. It's not like my big, big torch brazing. There you go, enough of that experiment. And I don't throw this stuff away. I'll probably might throw it in my desk drawer. I make pins for knives or different things or little stuff, so I'm not going to throw this in the garbage. I never do that. It's a perfectly good piece of little rod here, whatever size I told you. I think it's 1/8 of an inch. It could be under or over. I cannot really tell you. I just kind of use my guessometer calipers on it. Okay, enough of that. Let's go on with something else. Okay, we're going to paint our little Klein crescent wrench. We took some alcohol and cleaned it. This has been cleaned and polished. We're just going to use the dark blue. That's the paints that I found at a Hobby Lobby. And then brushes. I suppose I can get them up a little closer. All different angles and tips there for fine painting. So we're getting warmed up. We're using a wide brush. It's flat, tapered. You can kind of tell it's flat, but it's also tapered in a little bit. So we'll bring you back when we're done. We're going to bore you with, I'd be so nervous I couldn't do it on camera anyway. But one of the tricks is try not to get up on the side too far. And if you get over, you're going to have to scrape it off once it's dry. But just get in there. Like I said, it's going to fill in where the writing is. And then here where it's raised, I'm not going to scrape that off so you can see the letters. It'll just be coated over. So stay tuned for that. Okay, this stuff is kind of self-leveling, and you got to put quite a bit in there. You don't really want to use thinner either, but it's not perfect on the edges. It is a working tool. Little tip here: when you're done, take you some tissue and wipe the top of this off, and you won't have all that paint in your lid. We're even going to wipe our lid out, because once we use these paints, we'll never let them lay on their side like they are back there. They'll always be standing up. We have a little tin box with old paints that we cannot find it since we cleaned up, and we're not going to look for it yet. But no, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of there with a Q-tip or something, the best I can. That way your lid doesn't glue on. So we'll bring it back when it's done. It might not be dry, but we got to let it dry enough so we can flip it over and do the other side. So I'm going to take a break, go in the house for an hour or so. Then I'll be back, we'll finish this. So this will be the last project on this video today, so stay tuned. Okay, it's been about an hour. I went and watched the Three Stooges, a little bit of it, and then also imported my previous video clips I just did into the computer. It's a little tacky with a glow on. It's not exact in the lines. If you look real close, you can tell it looks kind of jagged. But like I said, it's a working tool. Okay, we're going to paint the other side. We'll snap a picture of that. Each side's the same, but like I said, these letters will be covered up. And I did my lid like I said. I took some Q-tips, wiped the paint out, put one with thinner, and screwed it on. Can you just faintly see a paint line on there? That's how I always did it when I was younger. I haven't painted for quite a few years in model painting. Once in a while I'll paint something. Needle on a gauge or something, or some small part. But we want to do it kind of as more of a hobby this winter. Paint a few things because it's relaxing. You can sit out here and the lights are just way too bright. I'm going to have to get me a lamp I'm gonna have to bring my lamp back. I had it over on the bench. It's just so bright in here to work. It's unbelievable. Of course, I've showed you that LED shop light, but we'll get to work. We'll paint this. Then we'll take a picture of it. I want to thank you for watching this week. At the end of this video, I have a picture. I was traveling this week, and I stopped at a gas station. There was a sewage and septic pumping truck that pumps out septic tanks and pumps out sewage. And look at the funny, the sign. I saw what the sign says on the side of the truck. I took a close-up of it. I blanked out the phone number and the part of the company, what it is, you know, because I don't really have their permission. But I don't monetize this video, and I don't get paid. It's always in my description. I just do it that way. I started doing that because if you remember back when they made you wait to see if your video is going to be monetized, 1,000 view thing, I started doing whatever. I can't remember what I did. I cannot tell you right now what I did. I just did my whatever you click protest. Yes, it's good enough for all the advertisers, whatever. And I started putting that in my description, and I never got that again. Where I'd pop up and say, well, you're going to have 1,000 views to be reviewed. And I mentioned it to a couple people on their video that was having trouble, but they might not have understood what I meant. But that's why you see that in my description. I do not get paid to show any products on my videos by any company. So, thanks for watching. Look for the funny picture of the septic truck at the end. We'll see you next week.